It's Elijah. I read The Countdown. So here are my notes on it. I submitted those. Alright. The Trap, Alexei. An IT worker, his wife Sonia, and his young daughter Masha found themselves trapped in Russia under sanctions at war. UK visas are useless to them in the face of flight cancellations and economic paralysis. The generational debt. Survivors guilt paralyzed Alexei in 1999. His older brother, Kolya, used a military signing bonus to buy Alexei a college draft deferment. A year later, Kolya was killed in the Chechen War. The invasion of home military recruiters barge into their apartment when a new mobilization order is announced. Sonia finds deafness to buy time while the family is refrigerator for food and set their sights on Alexei. Sonia tells Masha that they are having a fun vacation from their sudden escape, which is just helping out the younger sister and all this time of need. The Exodus. The family sets out on a hopeless, exhausting journey to their ramshackle Lada toward Georgian border. Yeah, that's how you say it. As they walk, Alexei remembers a game he used to play with Kola, building their own tinfoil spaceships, which had room for one passenger, a clue that only one of the brothers can ever get away, which is a good way to symbolize it, I think. Sorry for my slow reading, I'm very tired. The ultimate sacrifice. At the tail end of the line of cars, Army officers select young men and herd them into the buried army buses, knowing that his fate. Alexei does not turn back, sacrificing his own freedom so Sonia and Masha can drive across the border. Masha, as he is taken, little brother, sorry. Masha, he's taken, screams, a fiery vow of inherited family profanity, a honking driver behind him, leaving her father heartbroken but proud. Foster contends in Chapter 3 that literary vampirism is frequently a metaphor or exploitation, the theft of youth and autonomy, and predatory systems that devours a helpless victim in order to survive. The state is ultimate vampire in the authoritarian regime serves as a main predator. It preys on young men to feed imperialist war machines, stealing their futures for its own survival. It was drunk by Kola decades ago, and it comes back to finish the job by consuming Alexei. I like to brief stop. I like to relate this to I listen to System of a Down, which is a 90s, early 2000s metal band. They have a song called BYOB, and it talks about always sending the poor to war, and in this case, just sending young men to fight things for either elites or the country, and it just, as that being the vampire of just evil human nature of war in general, how bad it is. So it says, why you always send the poor, and we fight your battles, but you feed us lies from the tablecloth. So that's a quote I like to think about from that song to relate to that. Me personally, that's how I saw it. And this, I love reading about war and history. So, reading and consumption, literal and figurative. Vampirism, according to Foster, is about crossing a victim's boundaries. Mara uses the apartment raid as an example. In addition to threatening Alexei's life, the draft officers physically steal and eat the family's actual food, ham, caviar, and pickles, right out of the refrigerator, graphically illustrating the state's parasitic drain. We'll stop on that one. That's just an amazing example of talking about how it's like that was a physical act they did to show them that they are the vampire in the story or the monster in the story without actually being a literal monster, which is what Foster talks about in that chapter. 3. The anti-vampiric sacrifice. Vampirism is only overcome when a life force refuses to passively consume. Read that again. Vampirism is only overcome when the life force refuses to be passively consumed, says Foster. Alexei turns himself in deliberately to break the cycle of predation. He sacrifices his own body and state so the vampire can't touch his wife or daughter's autonomy and futures. Good sacrifice on his part. Obviously, just ending the cycle of being almost in fear all the time of it, or almost like your time has come, or they're gonna get you eventually. Like they got your older brother, they're gonna get you. So he ended it by willingly doing it, which is like basically just in his mind or in general ends the cycle, so they can't touch his family anymore. And this hopefully this is it. So that's what I thought about it, and yeah, like I said, I obviously don't love war, but I love talking about it. I really like the story, especially because I tell, like I said, this is one of my favorite songs. One of my favorite metal songs is BYOB by System of a Down. And just talking about how governments and stuff can lie to us, and obviously they're not always good. Not every action is good, nor can be defended. Like taking all the food. Obviously, soldiers got to eat, but taking all the family's food, basically just leaving them with nothing, is horrible, obviously, and almost like the cycle of fear that has been through with his family by God, his older brother, and going down to him, and him deliberately making that choice to stop the cycle and say this is enough, it stops with me, and then doing it. That's just amazing on his part. So, yeah, but the state in this story, I think, is the vampire, and can be pretty relatable to other people's things if you have family in the military, or you could relate this to more like, I guess so you could say communist countries, about always using like North Korea. They don't really feed their soldiers, and the soldiers are not treated well, and they always send the poor to do all their bidding, and obviously that's a horrible state that country's in, and so that's also what I think about when I read the story, just a little bit, but overall, great story. I used, what was the chapter again? I think it was chapter 3, if I'm not mistaken, from Foster's book. Yes, chapter 3. It's my first time using chapter 3, venturing out, being a little different. So hopefully this was good, and you can hear me clearly. Have a good day.